What's up, everybody? It's been a while since we've been on the podcast, but today, me and Sarah are going to join James and we're going to talk about social media, Thailand trip, some of the stuff that's happening with Strickland and Jon Jones. So don't miss it.
1978とある田舎町で生まれて移り住んだ新宿で育ちこの町で起きたこれまでの俺たちのここまでの生い立ちはほんのまた序の口試されたいちいち正してきた過ち騙し合いやからしないはスニッチの始まり放課後の登山所児童館にホームアローンそんな時間はほったらかして向かったとある場所
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the YAMATODAMASHI podcast. Today, joined by Sarah. Enson and Sarah, how are you guys today?
Tired.
A box of birds.
So you were at a seminar, right? How was that?
Very good. Yeah, we worked a lot of, they're a tactical place, yeah, like warfare, tactical warfare. So we did a lot of, basic techniques. It wasn't like martial arts technique. It was more, practical street techniques and a lot of mindset, overcoming pain and stuff.
Do you find your seminars are different in Japan than they are when you do them in the US and elsewhere in the world?
I don't do many seminars in Japan. The last ones I've ever done was always just straight up technique. But this time I did one like I do in the States where I work some technique and then I work philosophy. And it worked out really well, I think.
Yeah, cool. Nice. Do you plan on doing more of that sort of stuff this year?
Not really, but if they ask, I'll do it. I'm not looking to do seminars.
Yeah. I see what you mean. If the option's there, you'll take it. If not,
Yeah.
a bit. Fair enough. And how are you, Sarah? Have finally got your feet on the ground after a long time in Thailand, right?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, still trying to get back into the flow of things. But honestly, man, the heat here in Japan has just been zapping all of our energy. Even the boys were saying that, they're in Thailand for a few weeks training, and they said it's harder training here at the moment because when we train outside here, there's no cover, so it's just the heat they're struggling with. So we're actually making our trainings earlier here at the moment, and also been training at the gym more so that we're undercover. But yeah, it's been pretty brutal.
Yeah, we've had a pretty big heat wave here in the UK last week. Now it's kind of cooling down, which is like, thank God. Because the UK is not one of those countries which accommodates very well to heat. I think Japan might be a little bit like it as well, right? Where certain places have aircon, certain
We saw something on that CrossFit. They have some UK entrance, yeah.
Yeah, we're watching the CrossFit, almost like the embedded version of CrossFit. So the build up to the CrossFit Games. And there was some UK competitors, and they were talking about how there's this heat wave in the UK at the moment. It was like 33 degrees, and the guy was struggling.
Yeah,
it was interesting.
It's brutal. It's brutal because no one's houses typically have air conditioning or anything like that. So it's something that we're thinking about for when we move to put aircon in our new house because it's getting hotter. Like every year, it seems to be getting hotter and hotter.
Oh wow!
So it's. I think people are coming around to the idea more now that you got to do something. So, but I tell you what, one thing I do remember like about the trips in Thailand was that whilst it is super hot there, like you go inside and immediately like you cool down, right? Like, even on like the subway, it's like so nice and cold. Like I never think of Thailand.
Right,
yeah, the heat never really bothered me when we were there too much.
Especially after the ice bath when we walked back to the station.
Yeah, that it helped a lot. But yeah, it's good to get you guys both on. Wanted to have a chat about a whole host of different topics. I got some MMA topics, we got some general topics. Where do you want to start? You guys want to start with the MMA stuff?
Yep, let's do it.
Okay. I was curious what you guys felt about the Jon Jones announcement. You know, Jon obviously retired kind of out of nowhere. It was the way it was announced was pretty lackluster in terms of it was just like at a press conference. And now Jon's talking about coming back for this to fight on this Whitehouse card in 2026.
I kind of like the stance Aspinall's taking, where it's pretty much, I don't care about Jon Jones anymore. I mean, Jon Jones has been at his liberty. I mean, he would do shit and then come back anytime he wants, and then get red carpet, and then he would do shit again, and he had Aspinall waiting for years,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden he says, "Nope, you're not fighting. He's gonna retire." And then just because the Whitehouse event and he wants to fight on it, of course, the fans want to see Aspinall, Jon Jones, of course, but I almost feel there should be a precedent set until Jon Jones really wants to fight in the Whitehouse card, and they say no. You retired, we're done with you. That's what I would do, but I'm not no promoter, so. How do you
Yeah,
feel?
and I feel like on the balance of things, I do like that fighters, some of them are, starting to speak up a little bit more and be able to advocate for themselves. So it takes that power away from the promotion. But I feel like Jones has taken it too far in this respect. He's pretty much doing what he wants, kind of thing. Like it's like that power and has like shifted the other way, and there's not really, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
I don't
interesting.
expect that.
It's interesting, right? Because the whole news of the arrest was right around the time of the retirement announcement, and you don't know like if that had never got out, like how things would have played out. Was he planning on retiring? Was he planning on competing in November? I'm still think he was always planning to compete in November, but we'll see. Yeah, see what happens. What do you guys think about with this whole announcement of the potential card at the White House? Like, as fighters and former fighters yourselves, is that something that you like really would want to be a part of? Can you see the appeal to fight at such a historical place?
Honestly, I don't understand what the hype is. I don't get it. I mean, I would think more like UFC 300, that kind of stuff. I mean, you're forcing an event on the lawn of the White House on the Independence Day of America, like an anniversary of independence. I don't, s- I don't get it.
Like I
I
can
don't
I
get it.
can kind of see it. I mean, if
Mm.
you are like for Americans, if you're a really patriotic American,
I'm not
what
sure.
better what better opportunity than to have it on, like that's such a historical day at the White House. It's probably, I don't know, I can't say it is or not, but it might be like a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's such a momentous
What?
occasion.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Donald Trump, I don't think you'd ever have an event on the White House lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of history making. So I can see that, a lot of the patriotic Americans would be
Mhm.
keen on that. But I think,
Yeah,
what if
but
it ends there?
well,
Like,
for me, it doesn't make sense because if you're gonna have something on that special day, there should be a connection to the fights. John Jones fighting Aspinall, and he loses to Aspinall. That would be real weird. America won. America got independence. It's like they lose to British. It's like, oh, okay, wait a minute. That just says went totally against the whole
Independence Day.
independence thing. And what? So they're thinking of getting a stacked card. Conor McGregor says he wants to be on the card. So it's like, okay, now that's Ireland.
So I think almost a safe option would be then to have an all American card.
Yeah, I would think that have all Americans on the card. If that's the case, there's just significance. And just have Jon Jones. If Jon Jones is gonna fight and they let him fight, have him fight another American. I think I just
Yeah.
don't see. Yeah, okay, on the White House lawn, I understand that, but now they're tying it to Independence Day. Okay, so how does a fight match with that?
Do you think it kind of detracts from the importance of Independence
Yeah,
Day?
it makes no sense. It makes no sense. You're the specialty of Independence Day. The fights that they're gonna make probably has no significance to it.
Mm.
Mm.
So I don't understand why it's such a huge card. I mean,
Mm.
I don't know. Fighting on a White House lawn, I don't know. I guess that's I would think fighting in Madison Square Garden would be bigger. They've done that already. So I don't know. Maybe it's good because it's so different, and
Mm.
maybe because they know when Donald Trump ends his reign, that'll never ever happen again. And
Mm.
of course, it's a 200th anniversary, I think it is. So
Two.
that's not gonna ever happen again too. So
What do you think about it, James?
yeah, how do you feel?
I think it's kind of cool. I think the challenge is that UFC doesn't always remember when they saw like Fight Island and everyone was really excited. There's gonna be like, oh, there's a cage on an island. Like everyone was so excited, and then it just kind of looked like just another UFC show. So I'm almost like, because I do think it's really cool when promoters try and do different things with venues, because I think it adds something to the broadcast. But quite often with the UFC, it doesn't matter where they are; it still just feels like UFC. You could be watching it anywhere, right? Maybe this would be
Well, you know,
different. So
I
I'm
have
kind of
no,
curious to see.
yeah, I have no doubt in my mind it's going to be a good event. Dana White
Mhm.
will pull it off, whether it be, you know, UFC Noches, you know, where they do it in the Sphere,
Yeah,
they
that
do
was
it on
cool.
Fight Island. You know, I mean, it'll be a good card. I mean, he's going to
Mhm.
put the good fight together, but I just don't understand the significance of tying Independence Day in with it. You
Mm.
could do it on the White House lawn without being Independence Day, because
It'd
then
still be a big
it's
thing. Yeah.
impossible to tie in a significance.
Mm. Yeah, maybe I could see that actually happening where it happens on a different day anyway, right? It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
that's
mean,
cool.
yeah.
Um, out of interest, when it comes to being fighters, like how much does where you fight come as a consideration, right? Because I look at it from my point of view, and I'm obviously not a fighter, but I would be like love all these opportunities to go to different places. But would that be like a massive hindrance because actually you're like taking your training camp away and stuff like that? Like what goes into the thought behind it?
But I'm pretty sure nowadays the fighters nowadays is a big thing. You know, you can fight there, fight there. But for me, I didn't care. We could fight in my backyard. The ring be the same size. You could fight in my gym. The ring be the same size. It'd be fight in Tokyo Dome with 50,000 people. It's the same ring, same fight, same opponent. For me, it didn't matter. I didn't really care. But you
Mhm.
know, I mean, nowadays it's a little different. You know, it's a day of entertainment. It's a day of fighting gets you places. Fighting makes you, you know, it makes history and fighting. You fight there and fight there, you know, because I didn't really care. I mean, I
Mhm.
fought in all kinds of places in Japan, you know, and as far as, you know, fighting in Madison Square Garden, where they have Muhammad Ali fought and all this kind of the epic place to fight for, you know, I don't know, for boxing or any type of battle sports, you know. I mean, for me, the ring's the ring, man.
Personally, I don't like it. I haven't fought on huge cards like UFC and stuff, obviously, but I have fought overseas, and I don't like it for the fact that when you're doing weight cuts and stuff like that, and you're trying to diet, going to a foreign country, whether it's I fought in Thailand in the States,
Mhm.
and the food is different. So trying to get consistency in your food, I find that adds another stress to it. I'm sure like most fighters are used to it now, but just for that added convenience, I
Mm.
would rather like
Stay
be at
local.
home.
Yeah.
Well, he
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
talking more about the significance of fighting places for your, you know, for that excitement of
Oh, that's yeah.
I mean, is there if you guys were to pick somewhere, is there anywhere that you'd always wanted to fight?
no.
If you
I
no,
fought where I like fighting where I live.
you're just happy
I
to
didn't
fight
like
anywhere.
traveling and fighting.
Yeah. What about you, Sarah? If you could pick an ideal place, is there anywhere that you would have liked to have say you
You
fought?
see,
No, I don't. I don't
Mhm.
location other than like it affecting the weight cut and stuff. Because when you travel, you retain water and like having
Mm.
affect all those things. Other than that, I don't really care.
you didn't want to fight in New Zealand in front of your fans, in front of your family.
Well, I got to like my amateur
Oh,
career and stuff too.
yeah. I
So
guess maybe that's why I don't really
Mm.
have that feeling because I fought in Guam, I fought in Hawaii.
Mhm.
You know, that's
And
probably
Japan.
why I did at the end of my career just fight there, just force to fight there, just so I could fight in my hometowns. Yeah.
And I think I know the answer from this, but from like the coach's perspective, from your side of things, how how much of a pain is fighting somewhere really far away for your fighters, or versus somewhere locally? Like, is there huge challenges involved when, say for instance, I don't know, Mecca gets a fight in the States? Is that like going to be a huge challenge? Visa issues aside, or legal
Well,
problems, I
no,
should say.
this would be taking care of the promotion, so that wouldn't be a problem. If anything, it would be how bad the weight cut is. You know, I mean, what type of facility they'll provide for weight cutting. You know, if it's something like the UFC or some real legit promotion, I don't think there'll be a problem.
Cool. You mentioned Sean Strickland. What did you want to talk about with Sean Strickland? Because
Well, it was pretty not a bright move for him to go and attack the opponent that beat his one of his guys, but the you know the just for me just comparing, you know, how other fighters are treated, like for example Conor McGregor, he attacked the referee. You know, Sean Strickland just got a suspension. Yeah, which I think is the right move to suspend him for what he did, but not on the fact that you got someone like Conor McGregor hitting a referee. And I don't remember him getting a suspension or anything for that.
Also, the punishment seems inconsistent.
Yeah, inconsistent.
I think that's
And
been the case for quite a while, right? Like they're always pretty.
yeah, I'm just kind of sick of people getting such special treatment. You know, Conor McGregor, Jon Jones. I want them to be treated equally. It's not fair to the fighters.
Yeah, it seems like they definitely have a different set of rules for what they're allowed to do, right? Like as soon as they've started mentioning about they want to come fight at the White House, suddenly it's like they'll be welcomed back with open arms. So
I know.
yeah,
Crazy.
Switching gears a bit, let's talk about social media. This is something that I find always pretty fascinating. And I feel like you guys are pretty deep into it, right? When it, Sarah, you've been really popular on TikTok. You've done loads, and like you did the whole like a day in your life for like 365 days, right? Which it takes a lot of work. Enson's got you're constantly right now like doing the lives every day on your Japanese channel. But you guys are always pretty active on social media. I want to go back in time first, though, because Enson actually didn't have social media when you had your fighting career, and I wonder, like, how different do you feel your career might have been if you'd had social media?
In my time, if I had social media, I probably would have hired someone to do it.
Really?
Too much work. Too much work.
Yeah, that's
to
surprising.
actively fight and then do social media would, I think, distract me from my training. It would be really hard, I think. And back in my time, social media wasn't even a benefit. Nowadays, you can make money on social media. It's worth doing for advertisement, But back in my day, if I had social media, and I don't know how if I would have really understood it. I would have probably just had. I wasn't someone that would want to understand it either. I was balls in on the fighting. Um, I accepted the fact that I might die in the ring. So something like social media to make a little extra buck or to get a little more advertisement probably wouldn't have appealed to me at all. And that's where probably, I'm just straight up a fighter. I'm not about, promotion or anything. I just fought to live and fought not to die in the ring. And social media probably wouldn't have appealed to me.
How much of a distraction do you think it is to fighters?
I think in this day and age, they don't plan to die in the ring. So the pros and cons to doing social media and spending time doing it, I think it's very advantageous. So I think the fighters today doing social media is very important, and I think they should make time for it.
What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, I think it depends on the person too. I agree. I think it's really important in today's climate. You can pick up sponsorships and you can really push yourself out there. You can talk your way into fights now on social media.
True.
Yeah,
So
so true.
it's really advantageous. At the same time, I do feel like some fighters, not just fighters, just people get caught up in social media. And that's so I think balance is really important. And yeah, I think it can be useful. It should be used as a tool, but some people take it a little bit too seriously or they let it distract them and kind of, I mean, I think who was it? O'Malley. O'Malley was talking about how after the first fight with Murad, between the
He's like,
first and second fight, he actually came off social media.
Oh, he did, yeah.
Because it was,
but he lost again.
yeah, but he lost again. But just that message of, trying to stay focused on what he needed to do. So, I mean, I feel like obviously you have to do your social media from when you're just starting out, just as beginning as fighters. But as you get bigger, then I would probably jump to what Enson said, and I'd probably have a team take care of it. That way you can just focus on what you need to do.
How strict are you with your guys that you coach, right? Because you guys have quite a pretty close relationship in terms of taking care of them and traveling with them and doing a lot for them, right? Do you guys give any sort of guidelines when it comes to social media or anything like that?
Really, yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is a lot of the times in Japan, they're not as like vocal or as big. Like you get a real divide. They're either super active on social media or not at all. And plus the generation has changed as well. So for example, I'm like an older millennial and I post, I post a lot. But the next, Gen Zs, they rarely post, but they post a lot of stories. So the
Yeah.
strategies are really different now. And with the boys, I'm actually trying to get them to post more. So I manage the team accounts,
Yep.
but I'm telling them to individually, like, you guys got to start building your followings, like keep posting and stuff like that. And a few of them have got a good handle on it, but some of them are kind of reluctant to, or they overthink it, or yeah. So we are actually trying to get them to do more social media.
She is. I just want them to train.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I had a feeling where this
the
was going.
marketing department.
Yeah, yeah. But it's really cool, like some of the stuff that you guys have done, because I think when it comes to like fighter content, right? It's very sometimes it all looks kind of similar in terms of the same. But I feel like you've done a really good job of like trying to mix it up quite a bit. Like when you the recent one you guys posted on the team page where they're doing the little kid the boat dance, right? Like it's perfect timing, right? Like huge viral video. And I thought it's hilarious where the guys are like giving it a shot, but it kind of it adds a bit of fun, right, to the stuff that you guys are posting.
That's all Sarah did. That's all Sarah's idea. Sarah does good with that social media.
So that's kind of part of a strategy as well. So part of that strategy is using trending, like trends or trending audio and stuff like that to get views on it. But also another reason is to show a different side of the guys, because like you said, some of the content. I mean, a couple of our guys, some of their content is only fights kind of thing, and I'm trying to get them to show the fans different sides of them, to give them more of a reason to follow them, so that they can know the person as well as the fighter. So that's part of the strategy behind that.
Prime example is Yuji, right? I've met Yuji a couple times now, and I think he's one of the funniest people I've ever met. Yeah, if you look at the guy's social media, it does not tell the story of who this man is.
Just a scary, strong, silent type on social media.
Yeah, but you meet him in real life, and it's like there's a lot of comedy, particularly especially with the way Enson and him interact. Always made me laugh. So I think it's great that you can try and bring the personalities out of these guys.
Sarah's doing good with that. She's doing all the cutting, everything. Yeah,
I'm
excited.
excited.
It's really hard though, because some of the guys are actually like Yuji, for example. They don't mind and sometimes enjoy being on camera, but sometimes they also like are quite reserved and don't really want to be on camera. Like, so there's sometimes they can be real hesitant. Yeah.
It's hard to balance with people, right? Because sometimes you think like, oh, what's the audience? Who's going to see it? Like, there's a lot that goes into it when you're signing up for being part of social media videos, right? So I can get when people have reservations. But you're totally right. Like, the landscape has changed in terms of what people post these days. Everything keeps changing. Like, from what you said about no one really actually does many posts. The younger generation are all just doing stories and these moments that last for like 24 seconds, like 20 seconds, and then you forget about it, right? But then also in terms of like long form content versus short form content. And I've expressed frustrations to Enson about this in the past, right? Where we can spend, hours and hours on a video, right? And it will, not do the best in views. But then one of our short form content might just 30,000 views just like that. So it's a bit of a science. How do you guys feel about the lay of social media and people's attention spans?
I almost feel like the shorts are good to use to bring to the related video. So I'm thinking of the shorts do like the one that I did after training when everyone was sweaty and hot, and I said we just finished training in the heat. That had like 65,000 views, like real fast too. But I didn't have a video of us training on my YouTube channel, so I felt that I should have those, because you can, when you post it, it has related, if you can choose related video, so you can I should have had something to be able to link it to, because if people are so interested in that little video of after training, they'd probably be interested in the training too. So I'm trying to figure something out like that, where if every video I make, I should make a short video. Like I just posted one on my long ago when I did an arm wrestling tournament with the pro wrestlers, but I didn't make a short on that. Which I should have. It could have easily put together a short.
Yeah, that's it, right? It's like sometimes it almost feels like two different audiences. You've got people that want to sit down, watch something, right? And then you've got people like my friend Kush who will 6 hours like scroll through, like just keep scrolling and scrolling, and it's like, you know, they probably watched it, enjoyed it, maybe liked it, and then they went straight on to the next thing, and they're not thinking about it ever again. Like,
just tweet switch.
you know what I mean? There's almost like those
Yeah.
two different audiences sometimes. I mean, you
Yeah.
found this, Sarah, right, as well with TikTok, and I know you've been doing the YouTube stuff as well now.
Yeah, no, it is, and sometimes, the platforms, it varies by platforms too. So, for example,
Instagram and TikTok,
Instagram and TikTok, like TikTok, you get good engagement, and then I recently not recently, but I started a YouTube channel, and I'm posting content. So I'll put like a little trailer, a short on my TikTok, and that'll do really well, but it doesn't translate. It doesn't translate to people going over to my YouTube to check it out, which can be a little frustrating because
100%.
But I'm also one of those. I'm kind of a geek, and I dive into YouTube videos and try and educate myself about content creation.
Mhm.
And one of the biggest, sorry, we've got our dogs here kind of demanding attention right now.
Of course.
One of the biggest kind of things I've been getting lately is to treat the platforms differently. So not expect your audience from like TikTok, for example, to come over to YouTube. Just treat YouTube as a whole new audience and build it from there. And that way you'll get more retention and more engagement. Because if you're trying to force your followers to keep going over to from TikTok to YouTube, it's not a genuine audience you're building, and they won't naturally want to, go and check it out themselves. So yeah.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good
and the
point,
whole short form versus long form content. I'm a fan. I like long form content personally, because I like to just play and then play it while I'm doing something like dishes or something. I don't want to keep flicking through. But short form content gets eyes. So what I do with the fighters page is between, I don't know, around every 7 to 10 videos, I'll make long form. So I'm getting like kind of consistent good views on that 6 or 7, and then boom, I'll put a long form, and it does kind of okay that way because it's had eyes on it, and then I'll go back to short form for fun.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. It's good to test the waters. I suppose the other thing as well that we have to factor in as well, right, is different geographies. What are some of the
Yes.
differences between, I suppose, Japanese people on social media versus maybe Western people on social media?
It's so different.
It is different.
Is
Yeah.
it really? Wow. Okay.
Japan have a lot of haters.
Really?
They're so vocal. Yeah, they're
Wow.
so vocal on social media about hating. Like, they call
Mm.
them anchi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
A
it
lot
called?
of
Anchi.
anchi.
Okay.
Anchi is like trolls.
Trolls. Yeah.
So like it's almost like people are so comfortable being trolls on social media here.
On my lives, I think I block about 8 or 9 people a night,
Really? Wow.
and they call me out to a fight, or they say you got a pointy head, or they just send a picture of an egg.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of brutal too. I'm immune to it already, but I'm desensitized to it. But at first, it's kind of like, fuck, they're talking about my head again, those bastards.
Yeah.
And I used to hate it when Egan called me egghead.
Right.
These guys are putting pictures of just eggs, no comment, no words, just an egg. Like, motherfucker,
It-
block your ass, cunt.
It's like that
You know?
Dana White and the oil thing, right? Like they're
Yeah,
saying they
what
want to oil them
the
up.
hell was that? I
I
think
don't
Dana didn't even know what that was. Somebody made a comment about the oil
And then it
stuff. Yeah.
just took off. Everyone kept doing it. Now it's gonna be like you with the egg. Like we're gonna get comments on this video. Eggs.
Yeah. Don't have eggs. Just don't put an egg up.
That's crazy though. There's a lot more. I wonder what it is, right? I remember it being quite. I do remember hearing about it because there was that pro wrestler that went on the reality show and then she ended up killing herself because of
True.
Hana
Yeah.
Kimura. I remember that.
That's-
And I think there was quite a lot of stuff in the news about it having that type of trolling culture is quite common. But I wonder what it is. Like why
Yeah.
do you think it's because people are quite reserved in public, so when they go online they just let it all out, or what?
Possibly.
I feel like they feel safer behind a mask or behind a facade. Yeah, which is kind of crazy. Yeah.
Mhm.
I had this guy last night calling me out to a street fight.
Okay.
I kind of ignored it. I ignored it, and then he writes. Then he writes like, "Oh, what? You scared? You ignoring me? You scared?" And I kind of went like, "Scared?" I said, and I kind of laughed like, "Oh my god!" And then he writes again that, "Oh yeah, I want to come fight you." So I said, "You know what? Block." I just blocked him.
So for some aspects, I can understand how people in Japan or in Asia are reluctant to show themselves on social media because it opens you up to criticism.
Attacks. Yeah.
And actually, that's another different thing about Japan, mostly too, is people don't tend to show their personal life, like or their significant other, if they have a profile. So if on instant social media, if I wasn't on there, it wouldn't be unusual.
Yeah.
But overseas, in the West, it would be weird if like, where's his wife? Like, or like, where's your husband? Kind of thing. But in Japan, it's totally
They
normal.
make it a point not to show
Yeah.
their significant other.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes we follow people like, "Oh, he's married."
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't even know.
Yeah. It's bizarre. Yeah. Or suddenly they'll just, it happens. You'll be following a fighter for like 5 or 6 years. And then suddenly, like, boom, look, we've had a kid and I'm married. Just like that one post. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, cool. Like, congratulations. But
Congrats.
yeah,
Had
so
no idea.
they do separate. It's almost
Yeah.
like social media equals professional, and they keep their private life separate.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the difference feels. I mean, there's trolls right over here in the UK and in the US. Oh, they're everywhere, right? There's trolls everywhere online. But it's funny that you say that you feel like there's a lot more in Japan. I remember when Enson went to jail and looking at like recent posts and seeing some of the comments, there was a lot of like, going through and clicking translate and seeing some of the stuff and thinking, whoa, okay, people got brave overnight. We didn't used to get those sorts of comments. So
Still get them, and there's a lot of brave chihuahuas, behind the computer from far away and never finding out their identity. A lot of people like that.
how do
But
you
it was
guys deal
something-
with trolls? Sorry.
Well, something actually, this is going to answer your question. How do we deal with this? Enson talked about it probably a couple years ago and said that you got to be careful because it might be like a 13, 14-year-old on the other side of that computer.
Yeah.
So you can't take it too seriously.
Actually, it happened. Something happened like that with Yoshi.
What?
Just recently, we're already broken away from him, so
Okay.
it didn't matter. But he had this real big, huge beef with some fan that was talking shit about him,
Right.
to a point where he started. I don't know. Yoshi thinks she's a gangster. He starts threatening him and throwing all this like threats and trying to scare him. The guy turned out to be 15 years old. And he got ripped for that, man. The stuff he was writing like that, it's like, he probably thought it was a grown person trying to
Yeah.
really trying to threaten him. And he started going off on the guy, and it came out to be 15-year-old kid, and it was like, oh my god. So he got a lot of flack from that too.
It's like the most Yoshi story I've ever heard in my life. It really sums up. Okay. Switching gears then. The internet is changing dramatically like every day, and it's to do with AI. Have you guys got any strong feelings around AI?
I'm scared of AI. That's scary how that thing is just so human.
How much are you guys keeping up with the trends? Like Sarah, I imagine you probably have got
Yeah,
a good
she
handle
does.
on it.
I'm trying to like do a bit of study, and I use that term loosely at the moment, but I'm looking to jumping into more kind of serious study in that domain, like in the tech domain. So I think the way it's going now, it's whether you want to admit it or not, it's important to at least learn a little bit about, like, to stay ignorant about AI, I think is really dangerous because, like Enson said, it's getting so real and it's getting, really hard to distinguish what's real or not. It's really, I feel like it's really important to learn about it.
Yeah.
What
And
do you think?
100%, because there hasn't been like any really safeguarding or regulation on AI. So you need to like do your own research and understand it.
Yeah.
I personally
Well, I think-
am pretty big into it. in terms of like what's
Very.
possible.
Well, I
with it.
think it's Norway or Denmark. Norway, I think that their government is actually looking into having their residents be able to copyright their image and their face to avoid things like deep fakes and stuff like that. So they're looking like the government's actually looking for ways to safeguard their residents, which I think is amazing. Like coming from a government.
Yeah. I mean,
Very.
in Europe, we often get some of the updates that happen in AI a lot later, because of some of the GDPR data regulations and all that sort of stuff. So we often
Yeah.
have to wait a little bit. Like this, I've seen some apps where you can find an outfit, right, and then just upload a picture, and you can see what that outfit would look like on you, which is quite cool, right? Like, say you want to buy one of the
Very.
new. I was gonna say, yeah, but say you want to see, buy one of the new Team YAMATODAMASHI t-shirts at YAMATODAMASHI Fightgear.com, then you could take that image, put it on yourself, and see what that looks like. Cheap
That's
plug.
crazy.
Yeah. They actually
um,
had that. We saw one yesterday. You can put your face on a UFC fighter and you're like fighting in the
yeah,
cage
yeah,
and it looked pretty realistic. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I mean. So there's lots of different tools, lots of different stuff. How do you guys do you guys use any AI at the moment?
Just for information, for me, just asking AI about their opinion on like for example, like how much percentage does YouTube take on the donations that are thrown at you on the live, that kind of stuff. Like it's more information for me instead of it helping me do stuff. Yeah.
How about you, Sarah?
I used ChatGPT quite extensively for all sorts of different things. Mainly, a lot of it's like curiosity, but then, as you've seen recent stories about how ChatGPT it's not obviously not sentient, so it's actually just a mirror of the information you're inputting. So sometimes it can have really biased and skewed views, and also people are talking about how. If you ask ChatGPT a question, it'll spit out an answer, so you don't have to do the thinking. Whereas if you're using Google, it'll give you options. So you still have to use your brain. So they're kind of talking about the pros and cons of like AI in that respect, and kind of almost dumbing people down, to put it bluntly. And I thought that was really interesting. So with that in mind, I've been a little bit more conscious of that and not asking ChatGPT questions that I could ask Google and kind of decipher for myself.
That's the whole movement of society.
Yeah.
You can sit at your house and do all your shopping. You can order Uber Eats. You can. I mean, not the world has just everything has just been so making everything so easy, which is a little scary.
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree. There's definitely room for hesitation when it comes to AI. I mean, I see AI as basically the introduction of internet, right? I feel it's as big as that in terms of a movement because of what's possible. I use it, quite a bit for my day job. As in sales, it's good to help me write emails. I use it sometimes with this podcast. When I want to sort of brainstorm about different content ideas for us things to talk about. We're looking at buying a house, and my wife has actually been using it. She'd be like, this is the kitchen we're potentially buying. I want to do this, and like upload like floor plans into it and stuff, and it would give like really comprehensive ideas. So it's funny. I always interested to know what people use AI for, because loads of people come at it with like different angles of different things that I would never have thought about using it for certain things. So I find it pretty fascinating. What do you think? What do you think the future looks like in 10 years? Do you think we got robots delivering your food,
I
like
think
self-driving cars?
the AI bot's gonna start taking over,
Well, we already do.
like the movies.
Yeah.
We already do have like AI. I mean, sorry, we already do have kind of robots delivering stuff. Yeah, like the restaurants here already use robots. They've been talking about is it in the States or something, like sometimes some of the like Amazon are going to be like the drones are going to be delivering stuff. They're kind of like trying to pilot that. And
It's already happening because we went to eat shabu shabu the other night, and the robot would always come and slow down at our table only. every single time.
It kept glitching at our table.
It's
Yeah.
already watching us. It's watching me. I'm scared of those robots.
I totally forgot. Like when I asked the question, I was like, "Oh yeah, shit! Japan already has robots delivering food to tables. That's how far ahead you guys are. You're already 10 years ahead."
Yeah.
Do you feel like? Can you see an opening? Like, can AI be used in MMA in any way? Do you see it? Like,
I can see AI being used in MMA in the future, where you have a robot mimic your opponent, and you can have a training partner in. I can
yeah,
see that
yeah.
happen, which is scary.
I was just gonna say I can see AI. So, you know, like watching a fight
Mm.
and pausing on a sequence and like coming up with a list of like moves from that position, moves or like escapes or defenses like from that position, and being able to simulate it, whether it's holographic or whether it's kind of,
Mm.
you know, the kind of deep fake kind of simulations, so it can show you, yeah, like the do's and don'ts of that certain position in real time. I think would be really interesting.
Yeah, you could definitely see the case for using it more in coaching, right? And training, when you can sort of play out different scenarios by using something to recreate it. Maybe judging
Oh.
as well.
Judging, it'd be a little bit less biased. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
have like a little more consistency because
Mm.
it's really objective.
Yeah, but then they could also, Dana White could also go to the AI judges and say, okay, we really do want this person to win.
Yeah. You know,
Oh, yeah, because have you noticed that you can ask ChatGPT some questions and it'll say, I can't answer that question. I can't help you there.
yeah.
So like AI is already being censored. So you got to, that starts to make you wonder too, yeah.
Well, this is the other thing, right? You got all these different AI companies, right? From OpenAI to Anthropic to Grok. Like, don't know if you saw the release of the latest version of Grok, the one from Elon Musk, and
No.
basically, like, thought he was Hitler. So, in terms of the AI, thought he was like some sort of like crazy Hitler. So, yeah,
Oh,
you could.
actually, some AI, there's been a case in the States now. AI actually had convinced someone to unalive themselves.
Mhm.
And the boy did, like he
Yeah.
did. So the mom is suing the AI company. So that's kind of scary when you start to get into kind of the manipulation that is possible. That is
Well,
really scary.
you got to think, like, we're a lot older, right? We look at this and we go, "Oh, I might use it for this," right? But kids use technology in completely different ways, and they're going to grow up with this
I like
technology.
asking AI about myself because it always prompts me super good.
Yeah. Well, you have to, like, if you want it to be a bit more critical of you, you have to prompt it, right? Because otherwise it's
Yeah.
super positive about anything that it says about you.
No, I like it like that.
It's funny though, sometimes I test it on like MMA history and it gets a lot of it wrong as well.
Yeah,
Oh.
we've done that. No, we did that for Enson because we were just playing with it one time and
I made mistakes.
it made plenty of mistakes. Yeah.
That's what I mean. You gotta, like, it's like you say about the thinking piece, right? You need to be verifying and checking stuff. Like, there's nothing more I hate when you see like those AI videos where people just cut something out and just put it online, and it's like, there's no polish, there's no nothing, there's no.
At a basic level, I think it's really good for helping to brainstorm because you can put information in and then it can just help kind of mold or pull out, like help you kind of like extract ideas from your head. So it's almost like a good soundboard sometimes. Like you said, like how you like brainstorming for content and stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah,
It will make you think about, like, just different angles, and you can have a chat with it and kind of work out maybe things that different avenues you didn't thought you'd go down. So, anything else on the world of sort of content creation?
actually talking about robots and just like thinking
Yeah.
futuristic. So as you know, I was in Thailand for like a month and I was at the gym, and the gym is in the country. You've been there before, James. It's like in the countryside.
Mhm.
And I hear this really like loud, like whirring sound. And it was the sound of a drone. And I look over to the field and there's the drone was probably a little bit smaller than a mini car. You know, the cars.
Yeah.
It's probably a bit smaller than that, but it was huge for a drone. And
Whoa.
it was flying up and down, like dropping, I think it was spraying the fields next door. And that gave me a really kind of apocalyptic, like
Yeah.
weird feeling because you're in, like, I'm in the country what the hell is a drone doing in the fields, like doing what that just gave me a really weird feeling. That felt
Especially, I
really,
can see that because where you are with the gym is like so rural, right? It's so kind
yes.
of like, seeing a drone, that would be like the last thing I'd expect to see there. So
Yeah, it's almost like technology took like 50 steps instead of like,
Mhm.
yeah.
I
Going
think
back,
it's scary how the wars in Russia and Ukraine is being fought with mostly drones.
yeah, yeah.
And then I heard about the China COVID time where they had drones doing security in the towns, and it's crazy.
It is.
Actually, going back to like social media and AI and stuff, something I'm finding experiencing currently is on my Facebook page. I've had multiple, like over 5 now, different accounts set up using my photos,
Whoa, that's
and
cool.
there's been advertising online gambling.
Oh,
And I'm getting daily messages from people, whether it's my family or some of my TikTok followers, messaging me saying, "Hey, this has been set up on Facebook and it's advertising. It's advertising online gambling and stuff." And so I'll go and report it. They'll find it, report it, block it. But then I get messages from Facebook saying they're not taking it down, and it says we use a combination of human and AI sensors to go through things. But for whatever, like, if you really just simply look at the profiles and look at my profile, it's obvious that it's copied, it's fraudulent, but they don't take it down.
yeah, yeah. It's
And that, I
mental.
think, I blame AI for that, because
Yeah,
any human would know that mistake.
Yeah, true.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Zuckerberg, the cyborg that he is,
Right. Over.
won't allow. Yeah, it's we need some sort of verification on social media, I think, to make sure real people are real people. Because scary times are coming. Just going back to your trip to Thailand, me and Enson, we talked about it a little bit on in a previous episode. Um, what what did you think of it overall in terms of the training that the guys got?
It was great. I think the team did really well. So they hit the morning runs, the trainings. They were training between like 6 to 8 hours a day. So 3 to 4 hours in the morning and the same thing at night, sometimes at least 3 hours each session, including the run beforehand. So they were training really hard and really long. And it was kind of neat because I've been there so many times, with the instant stuff too. I was kind of like the translator in the middle too, because none of our guys speak English. So it was translating, but because I'd been there, I knew what the techniques they were trying to show. So I was able to kind of show them or help them learn a little bit quicker. And the boys just like picked it up so well. In the like couple weeks that they were there, I found like their level just like jumped dramatically. So I was super happy with that. I was really proud of them.
That's great. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing the progress they're making. And I think I just saw on Enson's Instagram that Koichi has a fight scheduled.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So Koichi and Satari.
Satari also has a fight scheduled,
Yeah.
so 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, that.
Yeah. So September 7th, I want to say, and September 15th.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are
And
locked
any
in.
of the other guys got fights lined up or?
Yes, but we can't announce them yet.
Okay.
Mecca's probably fighting in end of August. Yeah,
Him and Boo.
him and Boo.
Okay.
And then we have another guy, the new guy Maki. He was supposed to fight in October, but the event that he's fighting for requires him to pay $500 to fight, and he has to sell that much amount of tickets.
Right. Okay.
And if he gets hurt or cancels his fight, he pays another $300. So I was like, that's so weird.
Hmm.
So we're trying to get him into another association, but the other association has the next fight it has is too early. So the fight after that would be in December, which is quite a bit away.
Mhm.
So we're kind of waiting on that. Rui also nothing planned for Rui yet.
Okay.
We're gonna have him fight in deep. They showed a lot of Santiano's gym showed a lot of interest in fighting in one, but we feel that he needs to get a victory in deep before he's actually rewarded with a fight in one.
The one contracts are always a bit like you kind of worry about the MMA fighters that sort of sign with one sometimes because it's like they're signing
It'll be a
life.
1-fight contract though.
Okay, so yeah, so
Yeah.
in and out. That's good.
Mm.
Just yes, they got so many MMA fighters. It's just you go, what happens to them? Like Sage Northcutt, like loads of those guys are just.
I'll tell you what though, we got to go to the one Lumpini, so the Muay Thai
Yeah.
fights. They were exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great
And
product.
That was really cool for our guys to go to, because some of them have never left or been to a fight outside of Japan.
Mhm.
So
Right.
to see the difference in the crowds. So in Japan, you know, the crowds are a little bit more kind of subdued and a little bit more controlled. So they'll cheer when is necessary. But when we were in one Lumpini, there are some Myanmar fighters. So a huge contingent came down from Myanmar, and it was so rowdy, and the boys were kind of freaking out, like, whoa, like,
Yeah.
well, oh, this is how it is overseas. Like Japan's kind of in its own
Polite.
yeah.
Polite.
But they loved it. They were just so excited, and all of the fights all night was super good.
Yeah, they're always really entertaining, those cards. Those Friday
Yeah.
night fight cards.
Good
Always
cards
really
of one.
Yeah.
There's usually always someone from Santian and Noise Gym, like on one of those cards, usually, right?
Yeah.
Lots
Yeah,
of success with those guys.
And that night was super exciting because they've got a guy from Australia, a young guy, Josh Trowbridge, and he's only like 19, and it was he's a pro fighter, but it was his one debut, and he lost by TKO with 12 seconds to go.
Oh,
He was winning the fight, but
No
he just
way.
kind of like just risk it all, just get in there and throw down, and oh man, we're all on the edge of our seats, like right to the end. But him showing that heart, like the promoters want him back, like, so
Oh,
that's
really? That's
awesome for his debut. Yeah,
yeah,
that was freaking cool.
It's good. Yeah, they breed exciting fighters out of that gym, I swear, because they got Tyson as well, right? So, yeah, lots of good fighters. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
No, that's it. It was good.
Yeah, it's good.
Any news on your
Good
visa?
talking to you after a while, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit. I saw you went at like New Year's. Would have been New Year in Japan.
Yeah.
Like halfway through the year, crazy.
Yeah,
Time's
crazy.
Gone so fast.
So fast.
I was thinking it's been quite a strange year, right? Because Enson can't travel, so like you're all kind of pretty much locked down in Japan. I've had a lot of stuff going on here, so we haven't been able to like fire out as much content as I would have normally.
Yeah.
But we will get back on it. Big plans for 2026, that's for sure. So, but any news on your legal
Nothing
situation?
at all. Nothing.
Really?
They thrive keeping you in the dark. But whatever will happen was meant to be. So.
See what happens. Cool. Anything you guys want to plug before we get out of here?
Nope. Well,
keep an eye out for YAMATODAMASHI Fight Gear.com. They've got some new shirts. I got to test one out today.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out on the social media for that too.
Right.
And also, keep an eye out for the boys' social media, Team YAMATODAMASHI, on both Instagram and TikTok. Yeah. And also, this podcast has a channel on TikTok and Instagram too. So
it does.
Check that out.
Yeah, we try and put some polished shorts out there, you know. And
I like the shorts.
Yeah, good.
I like the shorts. The shorts are good. People should come here and watch these.
Yeah, they should. Well, hey, they don't even have to watch it. They can listen to it. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts. Wherever people get their podcasts, check it out.
Right on.
All right, everybody. You close it out, Enson.
All right, so everybody, thank you for watching, and of course, in the comments, I read every comment, so let us know what you think, what you want, and hope to see you guys come back again.
Thank you everybody for tuning in, and like the guy said at the end of the video, if you have any comments, any ideas, Enson goes through all of them and replies to them personally. If you have things that you want them to talk about or discuss, let them know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this out. Bye.
Bye.